Hello, everyone. I'm Nolan Myers, CEO of Double GDP, where we're building an end-to-end platform for cities to connect with residents, accelerate growth, and deliver responsive public services. I'm here to bring you an update for the sprint that ends on June 24th. As always, we'll go through the goals that we had for the sprint, the progress we made against those goals, and what we aim to do in the next sprint. So let me just dive in. Goals for this sprint were to increase our weekly active users to 317. And we had 4 sub goals within that. We wanted to make content more engaging and informative on the platform, increase the amount of marketing automation that we had around the content and reduce the burden of creating and distributing the content on our side. Make the content more open to people who are expressing interest for the first time in Inkwashi or may not be as aware of the city, so get to the top of the funnel in terms of a sales perspective. And launch the Artist in Residence program, where we'll have people living on site very soon, creating beautiful art. So how do we do against those goals? Top line goal of getting to 317 weekly active users was met. This is now 17 weeks in a row that we've hit the weekly active user growth. Very proud of the team on this and thankful to Inkwashi for all the help and engagement that they've been showing in working on this goal as well. More engaging and informative content, big strides here. The main thing is we rolled out Inkwashi News 2.0, and this is, it's better for users in that it has an easier categorization, but there's a lot of things under the hood that are gonna make this a lot easier to use. First of all, just the authoring environment is gonna be a lot better. We switched over to WordPress instead of MK Docs, and that has an authoring environment that'll make it very easy for people who are not familiar with Markdown to be able to create a post and put it directly in the application. And we're hoping that this will be very engaging for artists who want to create content on the site, for the Artist in Residence program more generally, the administrators and marketers of that program, and Inkwashi administrators who might want to be getting their message out directly to Inkwashi clients. So a lot of things under the hood there that make it much better in terms of getting content out to clients. On the content itself, we had a great interview with the first farm owner at Inkwashi, and he talked with us about what it's like to build a farm there, and so we got some of that content out, and it's been very well received by people who are by Inkwashi clients who are excited to see that. And we started playing around with content for the Artist in Residence program, and we have profiles of the different artists. We haven't done any promotion on this yet, but we've authored this content, and we're excited to start announcing it and making use of it next week. In terms of content marketing automation, also got a lot done here. We rolled out a new campaigns tab that allows users of the application, administrators of the application, to be able to see how the campaigns are performing and to create their own campaigns directly for clients. So they can go into the system, be able to create a new campaign and schedule that for the time that they want that to go out. On the back end, we have some better analytics that allow us to see how those campaigns are performing. And we have 2 different ways that we're looking at that right now. One is very tied to our weekly active user metric, and the other is a little bit more general for Google Analytics. And this is the one that we want to invest in more as we move forward, so we'll have a little bit better campaign tracking there. Getting to top of funnel, also did well here. So 3 things here. We have a welcome page that really just leverages much of the art and style on the Inkwashi homepage. But if you look closely, there's 3 calls to action here. And this is a place where somebody who's just coming to our app for the first time has now, for the first time in our application, a very clear call to action to express interest in learning more about the city and saying, I want to engage and I want to do something. We also, through a little bit of understanding the login page and the bounce rate there, recognized that we have a few other countries that we have not been allowing logins from. So we've now expanded logins to both South Africa and the UK. And then the big thing that we've done with opening content is adding a Facebook share to every page on the news site. This was also a big part of moving over to WordPress. It gave us ability to deep link to individual pieces of content directly from within the application and be able to take those and post them out to Facebook. Right now, those pages are not viewable without login, so we're not pushing heavily on this feature just yet. But in the next sprint, you'll see that we're going to be rolling out ways that the content can actually be viewable without login, and then use that as a funnel to help bring new users in. Very excited about that feature and the potential that that's going to have. Even it's possible now, but I'm really excited about what that can do in just a couple of weeks. And launching the Artist in Residence program has been a huge effort in the last sprint, and one that I'm really thrilled with. We've partnered with Chena, and actually, let me one step back. The goal here is to really show that Inkwashi is coming alive. We're sharing lots of images of construction right now and the progress that Inkwashi is making on its construction. I think part of the mission here is to actually show that people are living on site and creating art and creating culture and make it more inviting. We've decided to partner with Chena, which is a really leading art gallery in Lusaka, and has just a mission about making Zambian art available all over the world. So this is really a great partnership for us. We're going to start with a 2-month pilot where we will have 3 artists living on site. And we have 2 goals there. One is to spur interest among Inkwashi clients or prospects in new sales and in starting construction on their homes. Very excited about that. And then on a more tactical level, to grow our weekly active users from 150 in the first week of the program up to 350 users per week by the end of the program. So really thinking about the ways that, that leverage in the application can be used to drive interest in Inkwashi sales, in starting construction, and also for the benefit of the artists and for Chena as well, growing a bigger audience for themselves, and just making this part of a community and part of what this city is all about, is helping its residents and its businesses succeed. And a few other pieces of progress. Then great conversations in recruiting across a variety of positions: head of customer success, senior engineer. We have another back-end engineer starting in just a couple of weeks. So very excited about that. A lot of learnings from talking with Inkwashi clients about what will be interesting to them, and thinking more about this theme of engaging and interactive content. Great conversations with partners and just really broadening our network there, and some things that I hope to be able to share in a couple of weeks, but at this point are still works in progress. And we'll be speaking at a conference this weekend with a whole host of really leading thinkers in the African Renaissance. So it's an honor that I will be included with such a group. I'll be speaking at a couple of panels, but also just really excited about the work that's taking place in Africa, and both learning and contributing to this dialogue about the African Renaissance. So next sprint, what are our goals? Top line is to grow weekly active users to 380 free. And we have 4 sub goals within that. First is just to ensure a really successful launch of the Artist in Residence program. We're doing so much right now partnering with Chena, and next sprint we'll actually be sharing that out with a broader audience. The artists will actually be moving on site. We're thrilled to be hosting them, but just so much that's going to be going into that, both in terms of the program support and also in terms of the application and helping them get their messages out and being able to use some of the great content that they're creating to promote themselves and to promote the city. Within that, we're thinking more about even more engaging and informative content. And some of the things we're thinking about here are rolling out a discussion board, having content that's viewable without logging in, and better ways of sharing on a variety of channels. Third goal is creating a business directory. So any business that is working on site, we've heard a lot of requests from clients and potential clients that they want to know who they can reach out to, for instance, if they want to be able to buy bricks and have those ready to start home construction. And so we're just going to create a business directory that makes that easy for them to reach out to people that are approved businesses for Inkwashi. And then fourth, a few improvements around the sales mailbox and task management, just making sure that the sales team at Inkwashi has the support that they need to be able to use the application easily and track their own progress. So that's it for this sprint. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you again in a couple of weeks. Take care.